everyone. Welcome to Oh My Jane. My name is Stacy. I'm the owner here, and I just wanted to share who we are, what we do. We are a women's apparel boutique, but what we do is a lot deeper than that. We like to empower women, encourage women, to inspire them to do better and to be better. We like to provide them with clothes, with apparel, with accessories that will make them feel better, not just look better, but feel better as well. We are here to help you. We're here to serve you. We're here to walk you through whatever it is that you're going through. This isn't just, oh, how great, this is another boutique who is on a mission to empower women. We do what we say we're going to do. We walk the walk and we talk the talk, vice versa, however that's supposed to be. But yeah, today I did want to talk about one of my favorite women in history, excuse me, Harriet Tubman. Her story has always inspired me, even before I started my growth journey. Her story has always inspired me. It's always touched me for multiple reasons. Just knowing that she didn't let anything stop her. She didn't let where she came from stop her. She didn't let all the adversity that she faced in her trying to reach freedom. She did not let anything stop her. She just kept going. Like the Energizer Bunny, just got up and kept, just got up and kept going. So I do want to talk about a few facts and how they are relatable, how we can, I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh my God. So I do want to talk about a few facts and how her story is relatable and how if we apply it, the same tenacity that she had, the relentlessness, there we go, I can get it for sure. We can definitely accomplish the things that we set our minds to do. So one of the things that are really relatable, she was hailed by some as a courageous martyr, right? Some people were inspired by what she was doing. They were touched by what she was doing. They wanted to be a part of what she was doing. And then others saw her as a witch-like menace, an evildoer, so to speak. So they tried to stop her, so I think one of the reasons why that jumped out at me was because it all depends on people's perception, right? Like, it's not just what we do. We can do good, and people are going to look at it as wrong, as us doing evil. They'll find something to complain about. Or we will be, in the eyes of others who understand what we're doing, who understand where we're trying to go. They're there to support. They're inspired by what we do. So she didn't let anything that anybody said about her stop her. I think she actually probably used it as encouragement. She liked being called these things. Her nickname was Moses because he freed his people from slavery. That's what she was doing. So that's a pretty cool nickname, if you ask me. I would not mind being called Moses, or any strong biblical Esther, Ruth, David. I think I would probably personally like David more just because he was a man after God's own heart. And that's who I am trying to be, is somebody who follows after God, not after what he can do, not after what the blessings that he can give, but just to know him, just to find that deeper relationship with him where nothing else matters. So I would like to be, I think I would like to be called David. But anyway, so yeah, she had people that all had different perceptions of her. They all had different ideas about her. And that's, again, what we go through today. We do something good, somebody's going to complain about it. You look on Facebook, you look on Instagram, somebody is posting something positive, and there's always someone who has a problem with it. Somebody can give away, I don't remember what his name is. There's somebody that will pay for people's teeth to get fixed, pay for their groceries, get them cars, and there's always someone that says, oh, he can use that money for something else. He can feed people in other countries. It's never good enough for some people. So don't be that person, for sure. Do not look for the ugly. Do not look for the negative in something good that's being done. You can find beauty in everything, literally in everything. And anything ugly, there's beauty in it because God is the one that makes it. He turns it around for our good. So you can always find beauty in something. If you are the type to just dwell on the negative, you are going to live an unhappy life. So make sure that you are not the person that sees someone doing good as them just trying to bring fame to their name, or them just trying to, it doesn't matter what they're, don't downplay somebody else's efforts, basically. So yeah, there was that point. She was born into slavery. She started working at 6 years old as a maidservant and later in the fields, and she went through a lot. I heard a story where she was maybe 6 or 7, and she was taking care of a baby. Anytime the baby woke up, she would get beat. So one time before the sun even came up, she was beat. Oh, it's before breakfast. She was beat 5 times because that poor baby woke up. She's 7 years old and she's having to take care of this baby, right? So she lived a really, really tough life. And then, let's see. So I guess with that, just knowing that she was born into a situation that most people don't get out of, it's really encouraging to know that she did. She not only made it out herself, she made it out and brought others with her. Like, that is empowering. It wasn't just about her, right? She didn't just use what she went through. She didn't just use sorry, I'm distracted.
You're doing great.
Oh, it's because I heard the kids. Babies, I'm recording, so don't be loud back there. Do y'all want to come say hi super quick? Super, super duper quick? Don't say anything inappropriate because it's recording.
Next door real quick so they can get a drink.
Okay.
Because there was some money.
Hi, princess.
Hello.
There was no money?
Hello. There's some money.
Hi, babies. I guess, do you want to drive them around so that we're not walking through the door?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because the bell is going to be all loud and all obnoxious. Okay. Thank you, baby. One of the facts about her that really inspired me is she not only found a way to get out of her situation, she fought too. She fought to get to freedom, right? Like, she walked for 25 days, I want to say, for her to reach freedom. And once she found it, she didn't just enjoy her freedom. She didn't just sit back, find a job, get married. No, this girl went back and rescued people. She took people with her to freedom. That's what I love. How many of us find the answer to what we're seeking, and then we just stay there, right? Like, we just kind of will sit there and enjoy making it to the top. But there is power, there is strength in numbers. There is power when you're able to not only make it there yourself, but to take people with you to that point, to go back and go through all the trouble and bring people to that point, to that place of freedom and restoration and relaxation, the promised land, basically. So that resonated so well with me, because that is what I am aspiring to do. That's what I want to do. I do want to eventually make Oh My Jane an umbrella with other companies underneath, other businesses underneath, but I don't want to reach that place myself. There's no what's the word? What is the word? It starts with an S. There's no satisfaction. We'll go with satisfaction. It's one of the words. You can't, it doesn't bring you fulfillment. That's the word I was looking for. Started with an F, not an S. But when you're able to take other people and you're able to actually pave the way for other women, men to join you, it is so much more fulfilling. So that's what she did. And that was probably the main thing. No, that's not the main thing. I'm getting to the other main thing. But so she reached the promised land, or she reached freedom. I keep saying the promised land because I'm thinking of Moses now. So another thing that we can apply, that we can think about, is don't let where you came from hold you back. I heard that a lot. I went to Pasadena High School, and it wasn't the best school. Shout out to all my Pasadena High School peeps. Class of 2002, what's up? Just kidding. So it wasn't the best school, but I did know a lot of people that grew up in poverty, that didn't have much, and they would kind of fall back on that, right? Like, they would, oh, well, it's because my parents didn't have money. I'm not going to be able to to do sports. I'm not going to be able to get any scholarships to go to college. That was always a thing. Even now, like at my age now, there are people that use, well, this is where I came from. I came from an abusive home. I came from an alcoholic dad. And we tend to use those things as a crutch so that, and maybe it's more out of fear because we don't want to pursue the better things because we're afraid that we're going to fail, right? Because that's kind of what was instilled in us as children. So it could be something that holds you back because of fear of progression, fear of moving forward. But that should never be an excuse. That should not be an excuse that, okay, well, you don't know where I came from. You don't know where I came from. Like, people don't know what I had to go through to get to where I'm at. And it's not so much because of who I am, and it's not really the adversity that built me, but it's what God did, what I allowed God to do with my trials, with my downfalls, with my mistakes, that I'm able to be where I'm at. And eventually when Oh My Jane does explode and, I'm having to employ multiple people, some people might see it as an overnight success because that's always what they do, right? That's, people only see the success. They don't really see the struggle beforehand. But I'm going to be able to say that I didn't come from money. I didn't come from fame. Like, everything that I'm going to acquire is going to be through hard work. And because I did not use my past or where I came from as a crutch. And I mean, I did at the beginning, like earlier years of my life, it was more of a, oh, woe is me. I went through this as a kid and I went through that in my teenage life. So it was a little bit more of a pity party when I was younger. And I feel like it took me a little bit longer to get to where I'm at now. But for anybody younger, don't get in the right headspace now. Position yourself now to move forward. Don't dwell on things that happened in the past. And if you're older, it is never too late. It is never too late to start. It is never too late to get out of the place that is holding you back, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a sickness, an illness, whatever you are going through, wherever you are at, there is always room to move forward. There is always something better and bigger. So again, back to Harriet Tubman, she didn't let her past, she didn't let the fact that she was born in slavery stop her from reaching freedom, and not only reaching freedom, but taking people with her. So another thing that she went through, or that she, oh, it's dead. Oh, another thing that she, hold on, where am I? Another thing that she did was change her name after escaping slavery, right? She was born Araminta. Her first name was Araminta. And, oh gosh, I don't remember her last name now. Way to go. I just know her as Harriet Tubman. But she did change her name. She took on her mom's first name, which is Harriet, and then her husband, John Tubman, his last name. So that was one of the first things that she did. And I really like that because she wanted to change her whole identity. She wanted to completely leave her old self, the Araminta name behind, because she didn't want to identify with that person anymore. That person was born into slavery. That person was captive. Sometimes she was held in bondage. She was beat. She went through a lot. She left that name behind and went with Harriet Tubman because she was a new person. She was complete. She was free now, literally a new person. And I think a lot of times that's important for us to do. We don't, maybe things that we've done in the past. The old Stacy was bad, like bad. Not in the sense to where I've got any criminal history, like criminal records, right? Not like that. But just the things that I did and the heartache I put my parents through, it was bad. So, but when you give yourself to God, when you rededicate your life, the Bible says that the old is washed away and a new thing is born. There is something new. You are a new creature. The old has passed away and all things become new. I guess I should have looked up that Bible verse. I wasn't planning on using it. However, we are a new creature. And so your name, my name, at the time, Stacy Montoya no longer was associated with the things of the past. It means something completely different now because God washed that part of me away. He washed the ugliness away, and he gave me a new name. It was all through him. I don't have to worry about the things that I did. I don't have to be ashamed because when he made me new, when he washed away everything in the past, he gave me a new name. That means he washed away the shame. He washed away the guilt. He washed away the sin, right? Because we're now new creatures. So again, with her changing her name, that is so significant to what we do, to us trying to move forward now. And the only way that we can actually change our name is through the blood of Jesus Christ, is being able to confess what we've done, to have him take hold of who we are, strip us away from everything that goes against his word, and take on the new name that he has for us. So our old name could be anything bad that we've done, right? Like anything, stealing, sleeping around, so idolatry and adultery, having other gods before God, anything, any type of sin, those names are stripped from us, and he gives us new names like love, forgiveness, kindness, everything that we need in this life to not only sustain us, but to help us thrive, to receive the blessings that he has for us, to receive the future that he has planned for us. No, scratch that. I was like, where was I going with that? About the name. So, hold on. I literally lost my train of thought. Yeah, changing your name, allowing God to change your name. It's not something that we might be able to physically do. I'm sure some of us have changed our name for one reason or another, not just last names, but like even first names. But if that is something that you want to do, you want to leave your old self behind, you want to leave the part of you that was in bondage, that was held back by different things in the past, then get with God. Let him strip that away from you and let him give you a new name. Another thing about her that inspired me was her faith in God and her trust in God. I want to say what I heard was she was struck in the head when she was in her teens with a metal, like a weight or something. So the slave owner was trying to throw it at another slave who was trying to escape, and he missed the guy, got Harriet in the head. She was knocked unconscious. Apparently it fractured her skull, and then after that she started seeing visions that she believed were from God. Whatever the case may be, I strongly believe that they were visions, whether it was a concussion that brought on these visions or what. I strongly believe that she was led by God. Everything that she did, she credited to God. When she was wandering those 25 days, however many miles it was to freedom, she credited it all to God and said, it was a vision. God showed me how to get there. God showed me the way. He led me to do this. And it made her sound crazy. Like in the movie, when I watched the movie, the guy that was writing down her story, the guy that was writing down her story was kind of questioning her, like, oh, you mean that God did this? No, I mean God literally showed me signs. So it was something that people didn't really know how to believe or know how to receive it, I guess. And she stuck with it. She never shied away from sharing that it was God that showed her. And that is relatable to me in the sense that everything that I do in this business, I always tell people that I want to run this business in an unconventional way, right? I want people to be like, okay, I saw your numbers this month. How are you making it? How are you surviving, right? Like, how are you able to give $1,000 for a fundraiser and still continue to stay open when you are a small business? The sales aren't where they're supposed to be. All these other things. That's what I want, because I want to be able to say that it was God. I want people to look at me crazy, like, okay, I don't know if you know what you're doing. Maybe you should take a step back and let somebody else take control of the business. Like, I want those kind of looks, because I know for a fact that everything that I've done up to this point has been God inspired, has been God led, has been God directing my steps. And it takes a lot of faith to get to that point. It took me a lot to get to the point to where I'm at now, to be able to trust God. And it is a story that I'll share at another time, but it's faith without works is dead, right? So we can ask God for faith all the time. We can pray, God, I need faith. God, make my faith stronger. What he does is give you the opportunities to grow your faith. He doesn't literally just throw faith in your body, right? Throw faith in your mind and throw faith in your heart. No, he gives us opportunity. So when we're faced with an opportunity to stretch our faith, sometimes we take a step back and we're like, God, that's not you. I'm pretty sure it's just in my mind. I'm gonna sit this one out, okay? And then we come back and pray for more faith. God, stretch my faith. Let me make it. I want the faith of Daniel, and when he was in the lion's den, how he knew the lions weren't going to devour him. And okay, well, here's another opportunity. Maybe you have $100 in the bank. Give that $100 to tithes. God, obviously that's not you, because you know that I don't have $100 to give to tithes. So I'm going to take a step back from this one. Okay, God, can you give me more faith? Give me more faith. It is a vicious cycle, you guys. It is such a vicious cycle. You cannot ask for faith if you're not willing to take the step to reach the faith, to expand your faith, to stretch your faith. So for me to get to that point, it took a lot. It took a lot of trusting in God. It took a lot of, I know this isn't myself thinking this because I'm not that creative. God, I know that this is your voice, because I would never, ever do anything like this on my own. And that's kind of how you have to look at it, is, okay, this is not something that I would just make up. And then you'll know you do it, right? You do it and you trust that it's God. And there's a little bit of faith that's been, because you see that the outcome was great. It was what you needed. So that stretches your faith a little bit. And then you have another test, and you just say, okay, God, I don't know if this is you, but I'm going to believe that it is. I'm going to do it. And then you take that step, and the outcome is beautiful, right? So then you do it again, and that's how you continue to build your faith. But it is not going to grow if you don't take the step. It is not going to grow if you don't walk. The Bible says walk by faith, not by sight. You don't do, just because your circumstance looks a certain way, you don't shy away from not taking the step. It doesn't matter how your situation and circumstance combined. It doesn't matter how your situation looks. It doesn't matter what you see on the outside, because what's being done is done in the heavenly realm. God sees that part. So we just have to trust that it's him, and we have to trust that when we take that step, that it is God that's already prepared it, that he's already given us what we need, that he's already provided for us on the other side of that step. Sometimes taking a step of faith looks like running, right? Sometimes it looks like just diving in. Other times it looks like just taking a baby step. But as long as you're taking a step forward, not a step back. As long as you are taking a step forward, you're gonna make it. Elena, can you call Stacy, please, and tell her or send her a text and tell her I'm doing the... Thank you. She keeps calling. Hold on. I'm answering. Hello? I don't know, but I'm in the middle of the podcast. Can I call you back? You're good. Okay, love you. Bye. She's like, I don't know why I keep FaceTiming you. She's so cute. Okay, I guess just to end this, I just want to encourage you all to take a tiny step. Challenge yourself this week to take a step of faith, a small step. Doesn't matter how small. Pray for God to stretch your faith. When you are presented with an opportunity, take it. It doesn't matter how big it is. If it has to be a small one, that's totally fine, because a bunch of small steps lead to big steps, lead to major progress. So that is my challenge for you this week. I really enjoyed being able to share how Harriet Tubman inspires me, how her story is so relatable on so many different levels. I hope I was able to break it down a little bit and kind of put it in a sense to where it's relatable to you as well. So thank you all so much for joining, for giving me your time today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it inspired you somehow, gave you a sense of empowerment. And be sure, I do want to invite you to come into our shop. We are located at 535 Tovrea Road in Alvin. We've got lots of stuff to show you. If you need help with anything, looking for a gift, looking for a new outfit, we've got you covered. So thank you so much again, and we will see you next week. Bye.